At the time, Dr. Esper, actually even started before Dr. Esper, said, we want a new PT test. So in the history of the old PT test, there had been 3 attempts to change it. 3. And every one of them had failed. So for like 40 years, we're trying to change this thing. We tried once, it failed. We tried again, it failed. And then now was my turn. I was like, great. So I get there, and the secretary at the time, Ryan McCarthy, says, hey, SMA, give me a new PT test. I'm like, oh, that'll be easy. You're the secretary. What could go wrong with that? Well, let's talk about. And I said this in a panel on Friday before the Army-Navy game, so I'll give Navy props. Y'all won. Okay, got it. Let's get over that. I was so mad. Okay, so I'll get over that. Okay, so at the time, we're trying to change the fitness test. But what I said in the panel was, this is what everybody thought. We're going to change the PT test, and I said it's going to be age and gender neutral because you don't want women in combat arms. I have to say that. Okay, I'm field artillery. We've had women in field artillery for years, so that was not true. But that's the way it felt. Now imagine I'm on a phone call. This true story. I'm sitting on a phone call trying to explain to the elected officials, you know, their staffers about the ACFT, what it is and what it isn't. One person goes, you are a terrible person. I can't believe it. You're making this PT test too hard. And, you know, and then starts berating me about, you know, I don't want women in combat arms. Same phone call. The other one goes, it's not hard enough. You need to make it harder. Your combat. I was like, I literally stopped and was like, could y'all like work this out without me or what? Everybody had their views on the Army Combat Fitness Test. Now, that was outside the Army and inside the Army. At one point, I had 10 4-stars in the room, all Army, and every one of them told me something different. It was awesome. You try it. I'll put anybody in that room and see what you do. And I was like, this is terrible. It's like, make it harder. It's not hard enough. Make it harder. Not hard enough. Make it harder. I'm like, really? You know, what do you want me to do? So eventually, I got mad at all of them, just did what I wanted. Not true. We finally, it's really a good lesson on change. And I would say this, is that sometimes you're going to have to compromise to get change. And then over time, it's going to get a lot better. We needed to, push-up, sit-up, run will not do well in the next combat. I told you, you got to be lighter, you got to be faster, it's going to be more lethal. Our physical fitness test was push-up, sit-up, run. That was not going to get us there. And someone goes, well, you know, we deployed all these years and this has got us here and we've got all this combat. Why change it? I'm good. I was like, okay. Had a Sheridan tank too. Do you still use the Sheridan tank? I guess this is a joint room, so a Sheridan tank is a little small thing used in like World War II. We've had the Abrams tank for 40 years now, so it wouldn't work. So just because what you had a long time ago is not going to work for the future. So unfortunately, man, everybody had an idea about the PT test, and ultimately we changed it. Were there some concessions on what was in state? Absolutely. But after 40 years, I finally got the PT test changed, and it was one of the worst things I've ever done. Now, okay, I said I wrecked my car, so I got to tell you that story. So they called me and said, hey, you got a meeting right now. You got to brief the secretary on the PT test. I was in my house in Meyer, and I was, you know, like, okay, you couldn't figure this out, you know, 8 hours ago when I left the office, so I'm distracted. I got to hurry up, get to the office like right now, and brief the secretary. And I get in my garage, I open the garage, and then I put my garage remote. Guess what? I hit the button, it went back down. I backed up my car, it goes beep, bam, I hit the garage. I got a dent in the back of my car right now. You can go look at it. I still got the car to remind me of how much I hated the PT test.
And those garages on Meyer are very small. Sorry, Major.
I got a small car.
Sorry, Major.